Hey everyone, hands over there. Jim Chester coming to you live from Denver, Colorado, and I have a very special guest with me today, the creator of Dex chiropractic referral app, Dr. Tim McFadden. He is joining me somewhere over in Washington State. Would you share a little bit about where you're coming in from and a little bit about this awesome app that you've created?
Sure. Thanks, Jim. So the app is ChiroDex. You may have heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, then you need to pay attention. I'm coming from the city of Yakima, Washington, and we do
Yakima.
we do not make bike racks. I don't know how that happened, but we have the best apples in the world. So we're over on the dry side of the state, and so It is a balmy, not even balmy. It's a nice dry 90 degrees outside. Golf this morning, and it was probably in the high 60s. So yeah, it's absolutely blue sky, beautiful over here. So no rain in sight.
That doesn't sound like the Pacific Northwest.
I struggle with that all the time. I tell people I'm from Washington. Oh, how do you deal with the rain? I'm like, well, I don't deal with the rain. And then even if I did, it's kind of like, if you've ever been to Seattle, people talk about the rain, but if you've ever been there on a non-rainy day, it's heaven. That's all there is to it. But anyway. Yep, that's where I'm from.
So let's dive into what's possible with this app that you've created and the ChiroDex app. And I know that I'm really excited for it because it's going to offer people the opportunity to refer across the board, and it's going to give them the opportunity to get referred to across the board. And if we know anything about chiropractors, they all want what? More new patients.
That's right. That's what it comes down to, right? Spreading the word. It's really interesting. I'll give you a real brief summary of how I came to this idea. Several years ago, I'm an upper cervical chiropractor, and several years ago, there was a website, a group that was creating a website that was basically a directory that gave you a kind of a landing page of sorts, but it's pretty static. You'd sign up and you'd have a presence on this website, and it was very focused on upper cervical doctors, and you could list what your technique within upper cervical was. And I thought, man, that's kind of a good idea. They were charging tons of money for it, and I'm not going to mention who they are, and hope nobody's affected by this. But I got to thinking about, that'd be kind of cool. iPhone, mobile apps are pretty popular, and I thought, that'd be pretty cool. Most people spend more time on their phone than they do on their computer, especially these days. And so I thought of this idea, and then I got to seeing all these people using social media as a way, which I think it's brilliant because, for example, my 5,000 friends, I may have some friends that I've known for years that are within my, my circle of friends, tight-knit group that aren't chiropractors, and family members, that sort of thing. But that's a drop in the bucket compared to who my Facebook friends are. They're all chiropractors, and I use social media to kind of keep informed about what's going on in chiropractic, not only within technique and chiropractic in general, but even marketing, especially marketing, because as we know, Jim, social media is a place to be to market your practice. So I came up with this idea because what I saw was people saying, "Hey, anybody know anybody in Bismarck, wherever, or South, whatever," and they would rely on their source of other chiropractic friends to make suggestions, and sometimes it worked out really good, sometimes it didn't, but it just seemed like kind of like shooting, playing darts, and hoping that you got something in the middle or close to it. And so I came up with this idea. Well, what if we had a network of chiropractors who their thing was not only promote their own practice, but also to to expand the profession by just, making sure that nobody that's already under chiropractic care fell through the cracks. Because let's say I have a patient who's getting great treatment, great care from me, and then they move. Well, it'd be nice to be able to say, hey, you can continue that great care because I know this buddy right here who's in that area, or maybe close by, who might know somebody in the area that's closer to you. But we can kind of use that platform to really, number one, make sure nobody falls through the cracks, but also to promote each other and to build and be more dynamic in the marketing efforts through this app. And so came up with ChiroDex, and it's been a real fun ride. And it's, like anything, Jim, that you first start out, you go, gosh, I wish I would have done this, because I'm starting to get some ideas of the next iteration. And so anyway, it's pretty exciting. It's really exciting stuff.
So I want to lead into our episode 3 of Chiro Hustle. And we feature everything that you're talking about right now on one of our amazing podcasts for Chiro Hustle. And anybody that is interested in that movement, pop on over to chirohustle.com and you can listen to the first 3 episodes. Matt Walker's number 1, an amazing episode about business. Danny Knowles, chiropractic warrior out here in Colorado, amazing episode about the movement of chiropractic as a whole. And then we have Dr. Tim McFadden, who's the guest today. And Tim, I think you serve with such a passionate purpose to get chiropractic to grow. And this is an amazing idea. And I actually had this idea a few years back, was how can we create a network of chiropractic referral sources? Then you did it. So after meeting you, I was like, hey man, we really have to think about banding our brains together and think about how we can help more people with what you're doing and with the concepts that I have to grow the profession, which I think together we make a pretty dynamic team.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you're the dynamic part. I'm just the guy.
Well, we have, go ahead.
What's really interesting, Jim, is that I was talking with my wife I think this past weekend, and we had been reading a book on tape. We drove actually down to your neighborhood, down to Colorado, a couple weekends ago. And on the way down and on the way back, we were listening to this Audible book. And it's called Start With Why, I think, by Simon Sinek, and awesome book. But anyway, so we started talking about, well, what's my whole point of this app, because I'm a tech guy. And so a lot of times I get and I think chiropractors get this way too, with techniques, so, or the actual, physical part of, delivering the adjustment, being a chiropractor, hands-on stuff. And sometimes we don't take a step back to see what we're actually what's really driving what you're doing. And so in my mind, as I was talking to people about the app, of course, I was like, oh, it's really cool because it can do this and it can do that. And you can do this and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, she said, well, yeah, but why? And so we started talking about it. And she thought that my idea was to like what you're talking about, expand the utilization of chiropractic, right? Get it out there to more people. And yeah, I think I said, I think that is kind of, but you want to know what drives me more than anything? There are some great chiropractors out there who are struggling. You know what I mean? And part of it may be because they didn't have the business education that they needed. Part of it could be they're not necessarily confident with what they're doing. Part of it might be they don't have they don't understand marketing. And I thought, that's what drives me. I'm sick and tired of seeing chiropractors I look at not my class, but I think it was a class ahead of mine when I was at Palmer. And I see these great guys who they're doing other things now. They're not even in chiropractic. And we all know that owning your own business is not an easy thing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. And so but I would, I look at like orthodontists, right? I mean, do they have that same problem? Is there a failure rate in orthodontics that is like epidemic? And to me, it seems like chiropractic has that, and I want to get rid of that. And I think the best way to do that is to have a fairly easy platform that people can use to get in those new patients, to get those referrals coming in their way. And so that's really kind of my dream. And then after talking with you about what your dream is, it's like, oh man, this a natural fit. And so it's been great since we've kind of hooked up a little bit before Kara Sushi, and it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, and I think that Cairo Sushi Summit that happened back at Cinco de Mayo weekend in May, it brought together so many organic relationships, just like ours. And we had already been forming like a friendship before that event, but I've heard of so many people that went there that's lives and practices and futures have just turned around. So even if you were doing great and you went there, you got better connected. And there's Jennifer Trent. Here she
Hey, Jennifer.
And Abraham down in Mexico. I just want to say a quick shout out to him. What's up, Abraham? Thank you for the shout out to us. And Jennifer, here you are. Two of my favorite guys. Hi, Jim. Hi, Tim. So
it's the Jim and Tim show.
So thank you, Jennifer, for the kind words. I appreciate you. I did send you out some Prove It today, so you'll be getting some enough for, I think, 5 sample packs. And Tim and I are on the keto team with Team Prove It and Dr. Ed Osborne's team, and I'm with Dr. Matt Walker's team. So anybody's interested in that product too, don't be shy. Send us a message. We can teach you how to implement that for yourself as well. But what you're doing and what my idea was with creating this platform for technology, really what we can do is we can take the positioning to grow the profession. And I think that so many people don't realize how quickly we can start scaling if we get a workforce that's working for chiropractic. And that has been my dream for the past 30 months, because that's what I've been doing is I've been going out there chiro hustling, scheduling people in, and it's 30 months and I've scheduled in like 2,067 people and averaging something like 75 new patients a month. But there are so many times, Dr. Tim, where I meet people and they're like, oh, I live in Yakima, Washington. And I'm like, well, that's
I'm just here in Colorado visiting.
Yes.
Getting away from the rain.
Yes. So potentially what I could be doing is scheduling people in for different offices whenever I meet people out in the public, or somebody's like, oh, I live in Dallas, Texas. Well, great. Check out this app. We can schedule you into somebody down there for the same great offer, and you'll have great care. They're going to follow the same protocols that we follow, and you're going to be able to go in and get checked. And if you build that relationship, then you stick with that office.
That's an awesome, not only an awesome idea, Jim, but really noble too. I got to tell you. I mean, it's like, it's basically taking their excuse, turning it around on them, because maybe it wasn't an excuse, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was just the truth. It's like, hey, that would really be cool, but I'm just here visiting, and just bringing it right back to them. I think what it does, Jim, is it tells them that you're serious about this and that chiropractic is serious. Because we've got this network. It's like, hey, I don't care where you go. If you run into me, I'm going to find somebody for you.
Yes. And that's kind of how I've organically grown with referrals on, the Facebook platform. Is people are like, oh, I need somebody over here. Can you post for me? And I get that. That's great. But now we have a concentrated location where people can host themselves and we can cross-refer to each other. And you can then get people on board to a practice without wasting the extra energy of going through a Facebook feed.
Yeah. And the cool thing is you can even just schedule it. We don't have it like perfect the way it would be nice to have it, but I mean, you can literally schedule somebody which will send a message to that office saying, hey, you've got somebody who's interested in as becoming a new patient like Wednesday. and then you start that conversation with the office and that individual, and away it goes. And we've got some ideas of enhancing that in the future, but right now it's a nice place to start where you can do all your business right there. It's like, boom, here's a guy, click this button right here, and we'll get you set up with an appointment on Wednesday.
That's so cool, man. And tell people if they are interested about how to become an early adopter of this app platform and what that might mean for them, and if there's any type of fees and that go along with that, so that maybe people have a better idea of what it means to jump in with the ChiroDex app.
Yeah, and so basically the app is free, and the app has kind of two users, right? You've got chiropractors who can create their own profiles, and then you have, anybody can download. It's a free app, right? Anybody could download it. A patient could be searching on the iTunes or whatever, looking for, hey, I need to find a chiropractor, and boom, pops up this app. They download it, and they can look right on and find a chiropractor in their neighborhood. But I've been marketing it more towards the chiropractor because I want it to just be filled with these great chiropractors and all of their information, and make it interactive. And so it's free to start with. There's a free trial, a situation where there's 3 levels of profiles. One level is basically a one-item, one-line name and contact information for your clinic. Then there's a couple other paid-for profiles, which get you things, just more and more functionality to where there's an interactive, like I can post videos, I can post information, I can post events. If I'm hosting an event in my clinic, I can give people a heads up about it. So it's kind of almost has this social media aspect to it. You create your profile, and it's a dynamic profile. It's not just some static web page or something like that. It's and the prices right now for we call it bronze, silver, and gold. The silver platform, which is kind of that middle platform, is under $30 a month. The gold, which gives you everything and the kitchen sink, runs for $79 a month, and that's the early adopter opportunity to really become one of the first to be on this platform. And with what we're going to be adding to this platform in the future, you get in early and you're going to be set. You're going to be gold.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that what you're doing with the 3 different tiers is the people that are interested in dabbling on the platform, go and make your free profile. Those that think that there's more value to be gotten from this platform, then go ahead and start one of the paid memberships. And if you don't get people coming into your office and referring, then I guess we'll just try to figure out the best route for you. I mean, what happens with something so early is it does take time to get traction with it. So, sure. There are enhancements that will be made to the app and the platform. But for now, I would recommend anybody that is interested, the link is in the description and the comments of this live feed. Click on that link down there and at least set up your free trial, see what happens. And as things grow, you will benefit handsomely from being a part of this network, because I know that this will be the go-to for chiropractic referral. And I know that it's going to dominate where I send people to that say, hey, will you post for me? And I'll go, okay, contact my good friend Tim McFadden. He'll put you on as a referral source for this app. And then we're going to start cleaning up those Facebook feeds of people looking for people. And we're going to start funneling everybody over to you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw one of those Facebook feeds, or one of those somebody looking for a chiropractor in Orlando, Florida, right? And so it shows the map of the world, and there were 2 referrals, both in South America. And I thought, I don't think that's the Orlando they were talking about. So it can be a little problematic. But the other cool thing, Jim, is that I'm going to be marketing the heck out of this thing. And so you don't even have, if you're a chiropractor and you become a gold member and you build your profile and everything, I'm driving other chiropractors to you to give referrals. I'm driving this. Basically, I'm doing all the marketing for you. You just kind of set up this nice little interactive, fun landing page and just roll.
The app starts working for them. And that's the cool thing. And, I'm going to be marketing heavily for the future of this app as well. And, when you have a good team of people that all have a vision that we share similar, I think that the opportunities are endless. And honestly, this is episode 3 on Chiro Hustle. Anybody that's interested in more information on the long version of this conversation, you can go over to chirohustle.com and listen to us. I posted very freely today all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, many Facebook groups, and on my personal page on my whatever they call those things, public figure page. And it's at Chiro Hustle's Facebook page too. And if you guys haven't liked that page yet, please go over there and like our Chiro Hustle page.
You definitely need to like Chiro Hustle. Definitely.
And for anybody that is interested in either the podcast Chiro Hustle or the Dex app, there is a description in our comments here. You can click on both of those links. They're both clickable, where you can go over to each one of our pages. And is there anything else you'd like to add today, Dr. Tim?
Well, yeah. Give me just a second. So I also have a Facebook page for the app.
Oh, cool.
There's some information there, and if you haven't liked that page, you ought to like it. And so we'll post that up. I think, Jim, you can. I just messaged it to you. Do you see it?
Let me check quick. Messages. Tim McFadden.
Oh, hold on. Let me do it again.
Well, okay, let me check. It's sent. There we are. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to post that into the comments here.
All right.
And then
give us a like. We're growing. And we just want to make sure that, like I was telling Jim earlier, we want to make sure that no chiropractor gets left behind. There's too many people out there who need what we have, and we need an army. And we can't be losing, foot soldiers along the way because they haven't been able to market their practice. They haven't been able to, really even get traction going so that they can provide their service and the healing that chiropractic gives to the people in their neighborhood.
Yeah, and I one of my favorite quotes, Tim, is Bob Marley. He's like, well, the bad guys don't ever take a day off, so why should I?
Yeah.
So I kind of go back full circle to Bob Marley sometimes. And, it is so true that the bad guys aren't taking days off, and people's need for chiropractic care isn't diminishing by any means. And more people just need to know where to go and who to trust for those services. And this app is going to help them bolster their information and their ability to do so.
Yeah. One last thing, Jim, something I've been milling over that I think would really, to me, it's a passion of mine. I noticed that you look at media in general and all the marketing that's done on media, and so much is dominated by those bad guys, right? We know who we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And to me, I would love to start a massive national, international, I don't care what you want to call it, campaign where we start fighting back with our own ads and our own, and not necessarily an ad that's going to benefit me individually, like, hey, come to Health Within Wellness Center, Dr. Tim, he's awesome, yada, yada, yada. But just talking about the principles of chiropractic and how important it is, and how, forget that it's considered alternate care. If it's alternate, what's what's the alternative? I mean, my gosh. And so get some sort of a campaign going to where we can gather money, and I would take money from the revenue from the app and put it into a national ad campaign where we're on the New York Post or Washington Post, or we're in USA Today, and we're on Super Bowl, and we're talking about chiropractic and the benefits of chiropractic. That's what I'd love to see. That would be so awesome. Could you imagine a Super Bowl commercial about chiropractic? That would be awesome.
Tim, from me to you, I think that there's a lot of small storms that are going right now with a lot of really intelligent people in the chiropractic world, just like you and I coming together. There's other people like Nicole Cali with Chiro Social Tech that is doing massive things for the profession. There's the Amped guys. There's a lot of groups out there that are really working their tails off to fight the bad guys, if we can say that, and to get our message out there to more people. But, it's going to take a concentration of all of us. And like I referred you to talk to Dr. Matthew Norton about creating a consortium of brain trust that helps with the future process of this. And I think that once we start getting more people on board that understand the critical need for a trusted group of people, advisors, if you will, to help tool and to help curate a better future for ads for the chiropractic profession, I think we're going to really start making an impact. But we have to all come together and believe in each other and bring each other up and, really support each other throughout this whole thing and take the ego out of it and realize that the people need chiropractic more than ever. And that if we can just get out of our own way with our egos and with our own initiatives, a group of people can make a huge difference if we just all believe that the chiropractic message is one that's needed. And number two, that we can all band together to help each other.
Yeah, I agree. And, Chiro Sushi's one of the first places that I felt is really, really, really pushing that agenda, and had a great time down in Vegas meeting you and Tristan and all the guys down there with Chiro Sushi. It was a blast, and I agree with you. I mean, the days of infighting and bickering about, they've got to be over. We've got to get past that.
Those ideas to me are antiquated. And I think that the people that have those ideas will sooner or later have to wake up and realize that there's a new thought process and a new direction. And they can rest in their dinosaur circles, and they can play in the sandbox all they want to. And they can point fingers at each other, and they can feel upset that, chiropractic is taking a great direction to help more people. Everybody can, believe what they want, and they can feel how they want to. But when the train leaves the station, you can't stop it.
That's right.
So with that, Dr. Tim, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to share this like wildfire again on social media today. Every chiropractic group that's out there that I'm a part of, I think there's about 40 of them. You guys are all going to get this live feed. So any of you that make it all the way to the end and you've listened to this entire live interview with Dr. Tim McFadden and myself, please go to chirodex.com and join the app, and go to chirohustle.com and join the chiropractic hustle movement. And with that, just keep hustling and keep on spreading the message of chiropractic and keep on serving. Because the reason I became involved with the chiropractic world is because they said three things that resonated with me. Chiropractors give, love, and serve. And I've never recommended the chiropractic lifestyle to anybody that their life actually got worse. So here we go. Let's keep on referring to each other and helping grow this profession in the right direction. And with that, live from Denver, Colorado and Yakima, Washington, Dr. Tim and I are out.